Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we don't tell you what you want to hear, we tell you what you need to hear to make informed decisions. And you need to hear this video, everything from start to finish. Because I'm here to tell you guys, I just spent 3.5 hours watching 3 different powerful podcasts. One with the founder of LINK, the other one with one of the high up guys with Polygon who works with the institutions, and some of the Hedera developers. And I'm telling you, I can't be more excited about crypto right now. I know you guys don't see it, but you need to hear me out because things are lighting up behind the scenes. And now I'm going to give you just a little bit of advice, and this is not financial advice. This is just friendly advice coming from my heart. There's 3 things, guys, that you need to really think long and hard about. If you're tribal, you're going to miss out. If you are married to a project, you're going to miss out. And if you don't have a game plan with what's coming down the pipe and all the projects that's going to come your way, guys, it's going to be overwhelming of all the FOMO that we're going to experience from now to the start and through the next bull run. The projects are heating up. And I'm here to tell you, the new blood, the new projects that are low market cap, great teams, great money behind them, great ecosystems, great everything. It's all coming. And if you don't have a game plan, you're going to miss a lot of opportunity. That being said, I work with people one-on-one, and at the end of the video, we'll talk about how you can work with me if you need help getting a game plan and building out a portfolio that works for you. Now, also, when we dive into this exciting news, and it's a wealth of information, at the end, I'm going to share with you what I think, believe it or not, this is probably the best AI project out there. And I almost say that every week because there's so many, but I'm telling you, this one has me excited because it sits on Hedera and it's so early. Now, I'll let you be the judge, but stay with me because I'm going to share that with you at the end. Now, let's get into the information I uncovered today. To start with, guys, there's a partnership between Immutable X and Polygon. They're kind of rivals, but they realize that they can go further together. They're 2 powerhouses, and they both help to scale different areas, Ethereum and gaming sector. And I'm telling you, even though they're competitors, they have a lot of stuff coming down the pipe that they are going to work on together, and it's going to be beneficial to everyone, including the future of gaming. Now, if you're not familiar with Immutable X, guys, go take a look. Go to their website, check them out. Same with Polygon. We're not really going to dive into it. But I am going to tell you what the guy said on the podcast. Now, I forget his position, but he's like the guy, the go-between between Polygon studios and labs and the institutional money, the big money. And if you watch my channel at all, you know I follow the big money. And he talked about all the stuff coming to Polygon that you really can't talk about, all the major corporation. He said it's massive. And he said, Polygon sits on top of Ethereum. And with all those Wall Street corporations and global enterprise type companies looking at Polygon, he said that you're going to get news coming out about those 2 ecosystems throughout the year that's almost going to be weekly because they're lining up. And he said what you're going to see in the very near future and during the next bull run is all these major corporations are going to start launching and telling people about their projects. Now, he said the reason we're not aware of what's going on with the major institutions right now in blockchain that it seems like there's a lot of, FUD and everyone's trying to scare you off of crypto. He's like, I'm here to tell you, I talk to major institutions every day, and he said they are looking at Polygon and Ethereum first and foremost, in general. And he said that there's not a major corporation on the planet that doesn't have a Web3 roadmap that they're working on right now. Every single one of them. And he said the reason they're not talking about them is because they don't want to inform the competition of what they're up to. He said, but you're going to see when they start, they're going to seem like they come out of nowhere. He goes, you're talking about trillion-dollar projects coming out, these massive ecosystems that these corporations are building, and they're going to start announcing them. And one thing I know, guys, one day the adoption and what's being built during these bear markets, the price will always catch up. And when it does, this ride is going to be explosive. I can't be more excited. Now that's Polygon. Polygon, guys, to me has got to the next level that, it's about as secure as you're going to get. It's up there almost in the level of Ethereum. Now, the next guy I listened to was the founder of LINK. Now, I absolutely love LINK, and I'm going to tell you guys, now, obviously, he's a little biased, but after he walked through every single thing that they are working with the most powerful, really, really good, powerful, great developers, and he talked about, they're known for their interoperability and their oracles and their nodes and all that stuff. And he got really technical, but he talked about the way they are setting themselves up, like with Swift as their gateway and the interoperability between projects. He said, guys, that's just the tip of the iceberg. He said what they're doing for ChainLink is they're working with developers every day, and they're learning from each other, right? Like a mini partnership. And he said what they're trying to do is figure out how to place themselves as a front runner in every single aspect of like interoperability. And he talked about, there's about 3 to 5 different ways the future of, say, Web3 and blockchain and everything can go. And he said, we are going to position ourselves, and we work at it with the developers every day. So no matter how or where it goes, we're in that position to be the dominant player, whether you're talking about tokenization of assets, data, interoperability, or whatever. And I really believe they're going to get there, guys, because it is an absolutely first-rate blockchain, and it sits on top of Ethereum. And I'm here to tell you, whether you want to hear this or not, Wall Street has picked Ethereum. All those tokenization of assets, the lion's share, whether we like it or not, is going to be sitting on the Ethereum ecosystem. I know a lot of people think that certain projects are going to win, but I'm here to tell you, he works with Wall Street every day. Wall Street already dominates securities, and they're tied into banking. Well, when it moves into DeFi and tokenization of assets and everything else, that's going to be the JP Morgans of the world, and it's going to sit on Ethereum. Link sits on Ethereum, and so does MATIC. And when you start looking at tokenization of assets, remember about 7-8 months ago, JP Morgan tested their first tokenized security. I think it was our project, and it was the Singapore dollar or something. They tokenized it, and they traded it on Aave and Polygon, which sits on Ethereum. Guys, I'm telling you, ChainLink, I stopped writing. I got like 5 pages of bullets to tell you about Link, and then I just said, look, I can't organize all that. But that being said, and we're not going to talk about it, but I just want you guys to just think about this. In the big picture, everything, not everything, but generalizing, everything is going toward, all roads lead to Ethereum's ecosystem. Every project out there, every single one that is a major player has an EVM platform, period. It needs to have access to the ecosystem of Ethereum. So guys, as far as risk reward for your bigger money, you got to look at Ethereum. And he also said that he knows for a fact we're going to have bullet after bullet after bullet of information come. I think I already said that, between those ecosystems. Now, another thing about Immutable X and Polygon that left off, they have a ZK EVM roll up. Guys, it's a game changer. And now they got all technical about how it is, but it takes a lot of the risk out of the way of scaling. And they flat out said that with those roll-ups being in place, that with those layer 2s, that Ethereum will be ready to rock and roll and scale as hard and as fast as it ever needs to be. They couldn't be more excited about that as well. Now, another thing, on the third podcast was the developers that they don't work for the foundation. A lot of them are subcontractors or whatever you want to call them, but they're all affiliated with Hedera in one way or the other. They get together on Fridays and they talk. Guys, it's long and boring, a lot of it, but there's always good news. And honestly, I quit taking notes because the bullet points were just getting too long. It's massive amounts of positive information on what's going on with the HBAR ecosystem. Now, I'm going to start looking long and hard in that ecosystem. Now, I say this with love, guys. I absolutely love Hedera. But the projects that I think are being built on there are the next Hederas. You know, Hedera has already rock and rolled if you got in early enough. It's still going to do great. I still own it. But the next big moves, the 25, maybe 50x, maybe even 100x, are the projects that were like Hedera, say 3-4 years ago, right? So that's what's got me excited. Now, the reason I lumped this together kind of with the thumbnail is the gentleman with Polygon talked about how corporate America is exploding, and they are looking in, like I said, they all are looking into blockchain. Well, that throws, even though he didn't mention Hedera, guys, you really have Ethereum and then maybe MATIC. And then outside of that, I would have to say definitely, if it's not number 2, the corporate America has chosen HBAR. Now, this might not pump the token right now, but when they unleash what they're working on, I think Hedera is going to maybe jump right in behind Ethereum as far as the powerhouse ecosystem. Now, I'm still bullish on Cosmos and all those, but I think long term, HBAR with the corporations behind it, whether you like the centralization of corporate America being in crypto or whatever, hey, I don't care. I'm here for the money. Now, the developers were talking about all these positive projects being built on HBAR, and this one is exciting. It's called Neuron, and it enables autonomy in aviation. Guys, I didn't really have time to dig down that rabbit hole, but there was a lot of information. But it talks about connecting vehicles, sensors, and management systems into like the Internet of Things, which was what they were talking about. Guys, they were saying HBAR literally is working with corporations around the world, smart cities, connecting drones, the DLT, robotics, you know, making the Internet of Things devices and everything tie in. And he said not only that, they were talking about how it may be the most global blockchain as far as partners and people building on that block on their ecosystem more than any. And I know HBAR isn't technically a blockchain, but he talked about gaming projects, esport, supply chain projects. Like, they just went on and on. I was literally like, enough already. The point is, it is amazingly positive what's going on in all these projects, and especially HBAR. Now, that being said, we're going to look at the charts and take a look. Is it time to maybe dive into buying HBAR? Now, it had that little run up, but I think it's going lower, guys. I could be wrong. I'm not stacking anything right now. I'm waiting for the pullback. I truly believe that we are in a bear pump. That's what I think we're at. So when you look at this chart, I think that there's a good chance that it's going to go back down to under 4 cents. That's where I'd love to start stacking. Now, when you look at Immutable X, that thing has a pretty big upside, but definitely I think I'm going to be waiting to maybe try to get it back to these prices, which is under 40 cents, and right now it's somewhere around $1. When we look at MATIC, this is honestly, guys, one thing I love about MATIC's chart is when you look at the original pump, the next pump was bigger. That's very rare. And right now, if you look at it, this is a really, really good move. And it didn't just start, unlike most of the tokens, at the first of the year. This thing started back, 3, 4, 5 months into the end of the year of last year. So MATIC's been one of the stronger projects out there for like the last 6 months, or since the FTX thing for sure. Now, here's the LINK project. I think LINK, if you look at LINK, guys, buying LINK anywhere around, say, $6. I mean, if you look at it, it basically stayed sideways from, maybe $5 and some change up to, say, $6.50. It bounced around and traded sideways all last year at the end of the year. So it hasn't had a lot of ups and downs. But, guys, it's more of a long-term hold. But when you look at real money and risk-reward, you got to look at LINK, guys. I think it's on that level that there's no stopping it. Now, it may not give you that 20, 30, 40, 50x that we all want, but it'll give you that steady return that I think, not financial advice, that you can rely on. All right, let's talk AI. Now, for whatever this is worth, this is called Humans.AI, and it's built on top of Hedera. I have to tell you, guys, I'd never heard of it before they talked about it in the podcast. Then I kind of went down the rabbit hole, and it reminds me a little bit of Thea, which really gets me excited. That's where they basically bring like Socrates or Elvis to life, and they, in the AI world, in the metaverse world, you'll be able to, go watch some people in the past perform, maybe give a concert, give a speech on the corner. You'll be able to go in the metaverse. It's the closest thing is bringing, real life people from the past out, and it's going to be the projects, the people, or the AI people, whatever you want to call them. They'll be real, as close to being real, and you can have conversations with them and all that good stuff. That part gets me excited. But that being said, from what I see, guys, that's just a fraction of what they do. I definitely recommend go to Humans.AI and look around at all the stuff they are doing, guys. It's endless. And that's one thing about AI, the way I think, is it's hard to say what any project's going to do because AI is so intelligent. And if you ask it, what should I bring into this ecosystem, it may send you down a different path. Now, that being said, I'm glad I mentioned that. The gentleman at LINK, the founder of LINK, talked about how powerful these private AI protocols are, or whatever you want to call them. He said that right now, and I'm doing this by memory, that there's like 300,000 developers worldwide, right? Now that's part-time, full-time, everything included. And he said there's like 30,000 really full-time, cutting edge, the heart of everything developers like in blockchain. That's a guesstimate. But he said when you pair those developers with an AI, private AI that's built to be non-biased and give you real world information that's based on facts and math or whatever, he said that like 10x's minimum how much they can accomplish at any given time. And he got really technical, and he talked about how he asked it some questions about like doing something with like an oracle. And he said it would have taken probably 3 months of maybe 3 or 4 really good developers to do what he asked that to do. He said it asked it the question, and within 10 minutes, it already wrote out the code, and he tested it, and it worked. And it back tested it. It did its own back testing, and he said so right out of the gate, I could trust it. So I find that pretty fascinating, guys. Again, don't be tribal, because I'm telling you, if you fall in love with 1 or 2 projects, hey, you may luck up, but no matter what, I'm telling you, these young projects like this one, and this is not just a young project, it's a young AI project. These are the ones, in my opinion, that are going to absolutely rock and roll. Now look at this chart on this project. Look at it. It's way down the pipe, 14,381. It's at 0.014. And the best part of it is the market cap is, well, they don't even have the market cap. Yeah, there we go. The total supply, 7.8 billion. And the market cap is, guys, it's 110 million. This thing could go to the billions easily. So, guys, we are extremely early. Now, that being said, guys, if you don't have a game plan to capitalize on what's coming down the pipe with your portfolio, I highly recommend spend some time, get whatever education you need, and if you think you need some help, I'm here for you. Now, right now, for $250, I'll work with you, and there'll be like 3 to 5 phone calls and Zoom meetings where we go through your portfolio, we talk about your game plan, we talk about your risk tolerance and all that. And then my goal is to give you a roadmap that you can use in a format, a system that you'll have in place to keep you on track and teach you kind of how I think and how I stay on track. Because, guys, it's not easy. If you're like me, you start doing your homework, you hear some FOMO, you dive into these projects, the next thing you know, you literally have 50 projects. And one thing I'm learning by the people I'm already working with is that a lot of people have the issue. And guys, a lot of people need help having a plan to take projects. I can't tell you how many people I have talked to in and out of my program that have been pretty doggone successful in crypto, but they didn't take profits because they got involved with all the FOMO. And so they were told, oh, well, Bitcoin's going to 150, Bitcoin's going to 250,000. And they didn't sell. And then when it pulled back, they thought it was just a pullback, and it ended up being a bear market. So they had these massive gains. But guys, you gotta have a game plan. You got to understand when to take profits, how to take profits, dollar cost average in, dollar cost average out. Whatever your game plan is, you got to have one, and you got to know how to stick to it. I can help you with that. Now, it's $250. If you want information, I'll put my email down in the description, and I'll pin it in the comments section. Reach out, and we'll talk about what's next for you. But either way, guys, I can't be more excited. Crypto is ready to rock and roll. I'm telling you, I know it's negative. There's not a lot of positive stuff going on with regulation and everything. It seems really negative. A lot of people think that the bull market started. I'm not one of those guys. I've been around long enough. I've never seen a bull market going into a deep recession, which I think we have coming. That being said, I could be wrong. They're basically lying to us and starting to indirectly print money, so that can have a big impact on what happens to Bitcoin. But I hope that they don't turn this into a bull market, because, guys, we need the washout. Once we get that washout and the Fed pivots for the right reason, then we got something. Then we could buy the dip. For instance, if I thought for a second that we were in the next bull run, I'd be buying every pullback from right now. I'm not going to buy any of them, because that's how you get wrecked. If I'm right and you're buying the pullbacks, that means you're going to be buying, $28,000 Bitcoin while it's on its way back down to 20 or less. That's just my thought process, guys, but I wish you well. Look, stay informed. Don't be tribal. Be careful who you listen to. Do your own research. Get the good, the bad, and ugly. And guys, start looking at the ecosystem of some of your favorite projects. For instance, HBAR. I absolutely love HBAR, but the new projects that are coming out, those have me more excited, believe it or not, than I am about HBAR. And it's one of my absolute favorites. That's all I got for you guys. I got a lot more stuff coming. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And either way, hit that like button, come back, and be part of this community. Take care, guys.